Wait a second. Let me share my files. Sorry, my audio. Good. Does it work?
Yeah, it works, unfortunately. I figured out how to handle um men, maybe even in general. I just need to give you the permission to use it. If I don't fight you, you will never use it. That's it. You can share it with your wife if you
You're
want.
right.
My discovery. All she has to do is give you an official permission. That's it.
But then it's no longer funny. All right.
Exactly. That's
Uh,
that's it.
good. Masha, let's go. We don't have
Yeah, let's
eternity
go.
for that
Not,
recording. So
not even endless. It's not
yeah,
endless
you're right. You're right. You're
to
right.
fool
Great
around.
conversation last time. Good. Three, two, one. Let's go. Hi, and welcome to the Thinking Out Loud podcast, a show with meaningful conversations in English with non-native speakers. My name is Jędrek,
My name is Masha.
and we are two English teachers who.
I wanted to say like reading because you have a nice bookshelf behind you. But now after
Oh,
this
yes.
round of applause, I want to say who feel good when when they hear applause.
Oh, yeah, of
No,
course. Who doesn't?
some people might not like it.
You serious?
I
I
am.
mean, there's nothing better than a good compliment, and I assume an applause is like a compliment.
Yeah, but that's a lot of people, a huge crowd, so much attention. Some people just can't bear it.
Yeah, in the case of some extreme shyness, right? But deep inside, you still appreciate that, I guess.
Mm, Probably you're right.
Unless because there are various types of applause. There is applause which says you're great, and there's applause which says, all right, that's it, get out.
How do you tell one from the
Ah,
other?
you can't.
You can't.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good. I guess it's good that you can't.
Right. Yeah, but it feels great being applauded. The other day I played basketball, and if you score and the other guys are clapping hands, it feels great.
Okay, so we are two English teachers who, like all other human beings, like
Yeah, yeah, for sure, and who like to get complimented.
yeah, only we never do. Nobody has ever left
Yeah,
us. I'm not even talking about applause, even a
but
single com.
wait, you talk about public.
No, I talk about comments people can make about this show.
Let's leave that aside.
No,
Let
I want to
people.
rant about it every time.
How about your lessons? I mean, that are off the record. Do you get any
Oh,
compliments?
yes,
Yeah, you see.
I do. Well,
Yeah,
compliments, when people tell me that, now I can have any kind of conversation and it feels great. And a year
yeah,
ago, I couldn't. It feels great.
yeah. It feels great. It feels great, and this is a compliment, right? I
Mm,
guess.
I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
I
Unless this language learning is just happening on its own, and
unless it's
you're
this
not.
kind of applause,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
other one, the other kind.
yeah.
Oh, I'm sure it's not. I'm sure it's not.
All right. Anyway, you rant about the lack of interactions, so people, please leave a comment, especially on if you are watching on YouTube. There are very few, by the way, plays on YouTube. I know this platform is a total failure in our case.
Oh, thank God nobody's
We don't get.
looking at
Yeah, no,
us.
yeah, that's great. That's great. Except Spotify is also showing video, so maybe some people are actually
Okay,
looking at our faces.
let them
But
look.
uh, but I heard YouTube has changed its algorithm again, and now the videos that are commented get to be shown to a wider audience. It's, how YouTube works, if something's popular, then it's even more popular. So why don't you leave a comment,
Yeah, it's really pathetic if we have to do it.
It's really pathetic, yeah. But you know what? The other day, we actually got some comments, two comments on YouTube, but they were like some random names written. It's like a bot was doing it, or
Were
whatever.
they
But
good?
still, it counts. Well, they were just names, like some name. I can't even. I don't know. Maybe I should go and check. No, sorry, I don't feel like opening YouTube and going there. But it wasn't anything like, your show is great
No.
or it's bad, but it was just some kind of you know like a bot type of thing.
Okay.
But still, it still promotes our videos, and
Really? They don't even
I
care
guess
about the quality of those comments?
I don't. Well, that would be really tricky, if the quality of the
Why
comments
would
matter.
somebody who owns this bot want to do it? Want to
No, maybe
promote
it was
us?
just testing. Maybe it was just testing. The guy, the owner,
Mm,
said, "Okay,
okay.
go and test it on the least popular videos on YouTube."
Thank you. Like, thank you.
So, oh yeah, there is that Thinking Out Loud podcast. These guys get no views at all. Let's test our bot.
I hope everybody will test their bots on us.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This
And it
way,
will make
it would.
it will make us hugely popular in no
Yes,
time.
yes. But I was thinking the other day. We get a steady audience, at least on Spotify, and I'm really thankful for that. And I guess we are just, a voice, a weekly voice in
A weekly or a
people's
week? Sorry.
no, no, weekly, a weekly, weekly or mm, weekly intellectually.
Like how low do you want me to be today?
But no, okay, let me finish my thought, So I thought that, we are just a
I'll
weekly.
take a
That
seat.
means once a
Okay,
week,
okay, okay.
we're a weekly voice, of two
English
uh
teachers.
English teachers and at the same time ordinary people, because I don't think we have anything sensational to
No,
um
no,
you know
definitely
to
not.
tell people. Yeah.
No.
So it's like an ordinary conversation that you could have anywhere, in the kitchen.
This ordinary, it's the word that's been hunting me for some time now because it looks like the modern literature today. It's not about, it used to be about heroes, about people who did something, extraordinary. But now, maybe it's only me and my bubble. I'm now reading the second book by Jonathan Franzen. I don't know if you've read anything.
Oh yeah,
These
I've
are
got
these
his book,
thick books
Family
about
Life, or
nothing.
they're about nothing.
Well, I mean, it's not like the plot twists and all this stuff. It's just ordinary people living their ordinary life. I'm finishing Freedom, and I've already finished
I've got freedom.
Crossroads.
I've got freedom on my
Crossroads.
bookshelf.
Have you read it?
No, no, no.
So
As far as Franzen is concerned, I've
this
got
is
just
what is
freedom.
happening, just, ordinary people living their ordinary lives. It can
Hmm.
happen to you, to me, to anybody. It's not about something heroic. And I
Hmm.
think it's in general, this is the tendency, we want to see today, even if it's a celebrity, we want to know that they're just human beings, they
Hmm.
also, they have the same kind of problems, they suffer, they laugh,
Hmm.
and I think this is what is happening now. And now you're telling me that we are just ordinary people, and maybe that's the value of it.
Oh yeah, it is. It is. If I know, I said it not to you know
Humiliate me
uh
even more
yeah.
again.
No, no, I said it because a show like that is rare, or generally conversations like that are rare, because
Well, I don't know about podcasts if it's really valuable because usually what you see is people watch or listen to podcasts when there are some experts, invited that can
yeah, yeah,
enlighten
yeah,
them
yeah.
about something. Nobody listens to podcasts with ordinary people. like this show.
And unless you listen just for the sake of listening to a conversation and somehow be part of it, even though you're not participating, but you're just you're there
So maybe
listening.
we can just be so, um, what is the word, brazen, and jump on this bandwagon with Jonathan Franzen. He's writing about ordinary people. We're just two ordinary people having ordinary conversations. People, listen to
All
this.
right, but I'm really curious. So, what is your opinion about this his book Freedom? Because I've got
It's a
I
great
ordered
book.
that book
It's a
long
great
time ago,
book.
but I still haven't touched it.
But you need to have the right, you need to have right
As for
expectations, let's say, because you need to
okay.
know that it's not, a detective story. It's not going to keep you
Hmm.
at the edge of your seat, on
Hmm.
the edge of your seat. It's really like people living their lives, and that's it,
Hmm.
and how
So
difficult
what's
it
so
is.
what is so good about it?
So good about it. I mean, well, I've read it's the second book, and he will really show you the character. You will really know their motivations, why they did what they did. So you can imagine it's like 600 probably pages. It's a
But wait,
lot. And
as far as I know, it's a book about a family that is
it's
breaking
about a
apart.
couple that is going through a crisis,
All right, all right.
marriage.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And he this in the Crossroads, he does it. The storytelling is done from the perspective of many people involved. So in this story, it's from the husband's perspective, from the wife's perspective, and from their son's perspective, and from, don't want to spoil, but the lover of the wife.
All right.
Yeah. And it's like you can see the same story, but from different
Mm-hmm. Oh, all
perspectives.
right, all
It's
right, all
fantastic.
right. I
It's
agree.
really great. And in this book, what is even more interesting, and especially for me as a person who is trying to write, and you need to find this focal point,
Mm-hmm.
the person from whose perspective you're going to tell the story. And what he does in the second book, it's one chapter is written, it's in the third person, but it's like it's written in the form of a diary. It's like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
my therapist asked me to write my biography. So I'm writing my biography, but using third person.
Third person. All right, all right.
And this is, I think, from a therapeutic perspective, it's very. mm, I think it helps a lot because you can distance yourself from yourself.
Yeah, yeah,
You
sure,
write
sure,
about
sure.
yourself in the third person.
Mm-hmm.
It's great, really good.
All right, so this is the next book I'm
But
going
it's
to
not
read, I
about,
guess.
I don't know, saving some lives or doing something
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
incredible. It's
yeah.
just
I
people
can.
and the difficulties they're dealing with. I mean, could be you. Sorry, don't want it to be
All
you,
right.
but it's possible.
How did you come across Franzen? Was it a
Student
recommendation?
recommendation.
All right, student recommendation. All right, all right.
I realized that when I work remotely, since I started working remotely, my world, because you're physically spend most of your time in a box, and my
Hmm.
students are like my like windows into the outer world for me. They
Yeah,
open
yeah, yeah,
and because they are, doing so many different things in so many different, areas.
yeah,
I have many different, very, very different windows. It's amazing.
yeah. The same here. It's the same for me. All right, great, Masha. It's time perhaps to move to what this show is somehow
Supposed to
about.
be about.
It's supposed to be about exactly, and so far I guess we are pretty consistent, sticking to that formula. So
Yeah, because
there's
the police is back.
yeah, there's a introduction, shorter or longer, and then we progress to round one. So um all right, let's go, unless you've got anything else to add or ask.
I would like to ask people to leave their comments.
All right, great. Leave your comments on each platform possible, be it Spotify, YouTube, and whatever, Come on, let's get this show a bit more interactive. All right, guys, time for round one. So let me play this sound.
Round one, fight!
The question may be relevant to what we were just talking about, because I want to ask you about the difference between talent and predispositions. How do you see that? And Jonathan Franzen is for sure talented, being able to write a story like he does.
It gets me, of course, thinking about myself. Like I definitely don't have a talent for writing. Otherwise, I would have discovered it a long time ago. But do I have at least a predisposition?
Well, I guess you do because you can write. You learned to write.
I wouldn't be so. Mm, I wouldn't use the word can. Might maybe. um, Predisposition. It's like this little spark that can turn into something greater.
You mean
Sklonnost.
predispositions? Because a spark to me is more like a talent. But
Okay,
predispositions,
predisposition is a certain kind of mind you have. Like they say he has a predisposition or aptitude is it's a similar, it's a
yeah,
synonym.
yeah, I guess.
Um, uh, Aptitude for, I don't know, languages. It means that you have this certain kind of, I don't know if it's even the right way of describing kind of mind. I'm actually translated it directly
Hmm.
from my language. Um,
But
that languages come easy to you, let's say like this. That's a predisposition.
this is a
Or
certain minds. So what is that? Is this a certain? Maybe it's simply a good memory because it's
no, no,
it's
no.
easy for
What
you to
about if you,
remember.
what if you have an aptitude for math, for example? It's not about memory. It
Mhm.
would be about logic. But I mean, it's kind of a
Yeah, yeah, right, right.
you don't have
The
a have a
scientific mind, right?
yeah, I guess you wouldn't just say type of mind, you would just say scientific mind or linguistic mind. No, he has a
There
linguistic.
is that, no, there's either scientific mind or humanistic, I guess.
So I think it's a very, very
Covers.
broad thing, predisposition.
What
It's
a,
like pointing you in a certain direction. Okay, you like math, go right. But the
Mhm.
maybe, right is only east for me, for you, west. But there is also southeast and northeast. I mean, there are so many places there. But the predisposition is just, this sign, go left. You made
because you have certain advantage in that field.
Mm.
Let's say I'm born, I mean, not like
It's probably a genetic thing, right?
yeah,
It's
but
something
I
you
could
were
say
born
talent
with.
could also be described like that. You were born with certain gifts. But yeah, when you talk about predispositions, especially physical, I'm not sure about these, mental predispositions because I don't know where does it come from, like, the scientific mind but physically, let's say, I was born like I was born tall, but I grew to be very tall, then I'm sort of predisposed to do certain sports like volleyball, basketball, and so on, right?
Yeah,
Because I'm
but
tall.
it's like a, it's
Yeah, it's a
pointing into
direction. Yeah,
direction.
yeah,
There are many things you can do if you're
yeah,
tall, let's say.
yeah.
Um, but talent, it's something, oof. If this is a sign or a pointer, then talent is a dot. You know exactly, okay, you don't say he
Hmm.
has a
Hmm.
talent for he's talented musician. Why did we switch?
I don't know, because you raised your hand and there's an icon on the screen, like
Okay.
whatever.
You would say he's a talented. Um, I don't like that. What's happening?
What's going on? Everything's fine from my side.
And I'm looking at my screen, and I was on the right, and then I was on the left, and now I'm on the right again.
Oh, sorry. To me,
Okay.
everything is the same.
It's very strange.
This
Okay.
is strange. I guess Zoom is experimenting, with some
Is
features.
predisposed to these things.
Yeah.
And you would say you're talented. You can't be talented at many things, in many things, no?
Oh, like Da
Can
Vinci,
you?
maybe.
Oh, yes.
The guy was a genius,
Yeah, he
and in so
was.
many areas, it was.
So it's this, the gradation is like this, yeah. Predisposition, talent, genius. How do you like
So
that?
genius. Oh, I didn't think about that. You're right. Ah, you know, um, mm, I wonder, is it ever, sorry, the question may be sensitive, but is it ever there's that mosquito. Sorry. Uh, no, I'm basically bitten, all over my body.
Oh, you poor thing with one little
All right.
mosquito.
Yeah,
No sympathy in
it's
this.
itching,
Oh,
All
sorry.
right. Good. Sorry, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah,
I
I
don't
was
know,
talking
some
about.
sensitive question. I got all
Yes. Oh, all
tense
right, all
and
right, all right. Yeah, yeah. Sorry. So the sensitive
ready.
question is it ever too late to discover a talent? Is it like, because there is a very strong, in my opinion, collocation, young talent. We talk about young talent. We don't talk about talented veterans.
We don't talk about old talent. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all talent. Yeah. We talk about young
Good old
talent.
talent, Yeah, but
So,
it said
that would go on.
the other day I read an article about late bloomers. It was
All right.
on
Ah,
Big
yeah, yeah. All
Thing.
right.
Are you
All right. All right.
subscribed to Big Thing?
I'm not a subscriber, but I know what
Small
it is.
Thing?
Yeah.
No, at least. Okay. This is my answer to old.
Old time. No, but late
No,
bloomers.
no, no, no.
Let's.
Yeah,
What
there was
about
an
them?
article about late bloomers, and when I read it, I understand that, the answer to your question, can you discover talent in the old age? And I think probably yes. But there must be some certain combination of factors. Like I was reading about some woman, she was used as an example in this article, and she was talented and smart all along. It's just that she was
Hmm.
not very confident, and other people always, gaslighted her or whatever. And only when she
Hmm.
got rid of these people, or rather some of them died or something like this, and she was put in this situation when she had to, use her talent, she
Hmm.
discovered that she had it. But I mean, she had it all along.
Oh, I see. But then again, the maybe uh, sad thing about that is that talent. I like what you said before about that, predispositions, talent, genius, because talent is not yet a genius because you need to work on that, you need to develop the talent, right? You can't just
Yeah,
the
it's
fact that you
like,
have the
yeah,
fact that you're talented doesn't mean that you're suddenly a genius, right? That you have some outstanding achievements and so on.
yeah, there are many
It's
people who are
helping you
talented, but they never, I mean, it's
develop
not
that.
enough to be talented. You need to work on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Now
That's
everybody knows
why
about this. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why discovering a talent quite late in your life is somehow like yeah, it's simply late,
But
because
there is this woman, Carol Dweck. Do you know about her? She
yeah, yeah,
introduced
a
this,
psychologist.
yeah, she introduced this concept of oh my God. basically there is no such thing as talent. There's only growth
Yeah, you're right.
mindset. Growth
Yeah, growth
mindset.
mindset. Yeah, of course.
Of course, I mean, you need to be, I mean, I'm a little skeptical when we're talking about artistic talent because, I mean, if you don't have it, then no matter how hard you work and put in these 10,000 hours or whatever, you're not going to become Van Gogh or, you know. But
Hmm.
if we talk about other stuff, not art, then I think it makes sense, you know, if you have this growth mindset and I mean, if you take two people, one is fairly talented, but doesn't have this growth mindset,
Hmm.
and the other who is not so talented but has this growth mindset, in the end, this person will achieve more.
Hmm.
Mhm.
You're
Especially
raising
if
your
you,
hand again.
especially especially if it's a child and his parents give him wrong kind of feedback, you know, they always say, oh my God,
Yeah,
you're the
that
best,
praising. Yeah,
you
that
know, and then
praising.
the real world, you know, crushes you basically.
Yeah.
um so yeah, that's what she says, that talent, you know, just stick it up your ass
But
basically.
maybe she's right. I'm not so sure about it. It definitely makes sense what she's writing about, but let's get to some examples. What do you think about Tina Turner's voice? Is that a gift? Is that a talent, or is that simply a certain predisposition?
Well, like I said,
Her voice, unique and
when it comes
one
to
of a kind.
art, I think that yes, it's talent is, I don't know, 80% of your success. It's not simply
Hmm.
predisposition.
But that
A
voice,
voice like that, you know. Taylor Swift has predisposition, but Tina
no talent.
Turner, no. When it
I
comes
was
to
also.
voice, when it comes to her
Mhm.
songs, I mean, she's a fantastic storyteller. But the voice is not something extraordinary. I mean,
Exactly. It's
comparing
just like
to,
a pop star. It's a pop star that,
yeah, if you
unless
have
unless.
enough money, enough training, you will get a
Mhm.
more or less decent voice if you
You think
have
you could
predisposition
train yourself to that level? Like
to that level.
mhm.
Not now, because now I have this already professional deformation. I even trained with a vocal coach because, you
Mhm.
know, by the end of the day, I sometimes my voice is a bit hoarse.
Yeah.
And actually these lessons helped a little bit. Mm,
But you were diagnosed
My
with
voice is no, no, no. My voice is fine, you know. Uh, if I had done it, you know, had practiced a bit earlier, I could maybe sing like her,
if you developed that talent
but
before.
never write
Right,
songs
but
like her. No, it's not a talent. No, I don't have a
you think
talent.
you think it's Taylor who's writing these songs?
Yeah.
Or does he have some professional songwriters? I know that there's a lot of biographical facts or
Well, she's a
biographical stuff.
singer-songwriter.
All right.
So she maybe there are people who help her, I know. But
Yeah,
how she tells stories,
I'm
it's
curious.
amazing.
Yeah, I'm just curious because I heard that Rihanna, the pop star from, let's say, a few years ago.
I know who
Uh,
Rihanna is.
oh, you know Rihanna, great.
Thank you.
But she's behind the smash hit Umbrella. All right. But what I wanted to say is that she was basically a product.
Hmm.
Like, the songwriting, everything was done by professionals, and
Hmm.
she was just an instrument, let's say, vocal
She was
chords.
a vocalist, yeah. She
Yeah,
was not
vocalist. Yeah.
songwriter.
She was not a songwriter. Yeah.
But I think Taylor Swift, like Ed Sheeran, Taylor Swift
Hmm.
in jeans, in pants, uh,
Hmm.
or Taylor Swift is Ed Sheeran in skirt. I think they write their own songs.
All right. All right. But voice-wise, they are not unique. Is that what you want to say?
Hmm.
Yeah. I have the same impression, except I'm not listening a lot Taylor Swift, so I may simply not be able to appreciate her. But I guess,
You don't
if
have
I
to listen
heard,
to her a lot.
Mhm,
You just know
you're
one
right.
song by
You just
Tina
know. All right.
Turner and you just understand the
Yeah,
magnitude.
let's clarify some things. Tina's voice is a talent.
Plus
Taylor's
hard
voice
work.
plus hard work. Okay, but the color of it, the color of that voice,
It's
its
simply the
quality.
best.
Yeah. So there's no way someone could copy her, right?
Of course, AI can copy her.
Oh,
What are
okay.
you talking about?
All right, but I'm speaking about living human beings.
Maybe it's living.
All right.
Okay, let's not go into
Let's not
let's not
go
go
into AI
there
again.
again. Mhm.
All right. So, well, thanks a lot for what you have said so far. Predispositions um, and talent. Um, what about that mental aspect of it? Could you be predisposed to mathematics or just talented?
You could be both, I think. Well,
Does
like
it?
when your child is somewhere around 13, 14, it's a good time to understand what is he predisposed to continue with his education more like, target the areas
Hmm.
that, and you would understand, okay, he's definitely not predisposed to, what are they? Exact sciences? Yeah. What are
Hard
they called?
sciences, I guess.
Part?
Hmm.
Mm, maybe he's more into, I don't know, literature or something, and you would
Hmm.
send
Hmm.
him to this school or instead of that school. That's
Hmm.
so, yeah.
But that is just predisposition. You're predisposed. You have some
Yeah,
inclination, in other words.
inclination, yeah,
Hmm. All
aptitude.
right.
But the talent, I think you would know much earlier.
Could
Actually,
you
with
imagine?
predisposition, you can also figure it out very early on. But then
I
but
mean,
actually
with
the
with
child
talent,
is,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about talent.
oh,
Because there
come
is
on,
that
Mozart.
story of, yeah, yeah, sure. But there is that common story about searching for talents, in children or anywhere. So parents send them to 1 million different courses.
I
Violin,
think I know how
football.
this question originated. Let me guess,
Really?
because today, that's the message we hear today from all these gurus of motivation that everybody has a talent. You just need to
Hmm.
discover it. I think it's bullshit. And by 46, you have to face the music that not everybody has a talent.
But
In the meaning that I was trying to, in the meaning I was talking about talent.
so you mean that if you have
You
it, you
you
will
definitely have
feel
some
it,
aptitudes for something,
but you will
yeah.
feel it if you have it. It's not like, because look at me. I've never tried, let's say, playing water sports. Maybe I'm talented there.
Jeez, you speak like those people on YouTube.
No, I'm just
Go ahead and
curious.
try everything, and you will know where if you have. I think if you had a talent for it, it will be just burning inside you. And by
All
the
right, so it
age,
would it
I don't
would
know how old you are, but by this age, you would have probably already uh, opportunity would have presented itself for you to
all right,
discover it.
all right.
I don't know if we're speaking about talent in the sense people used to define it, because now they define it differently.
But what if I'm a very talented camel rider? Except there are no camels
More
around.
power to you.
All right, fine.
It's just they don't even go together in one sentence. These talent and the camel rider, it's just
No, maybe I'm
I'm a
talented in
very talented, I'm a very
camels, you
talented,
know.
uh, what is it? Dishes washer. I don't want to say dishwasher because I'm not a machine, but I'm, I'm very talented
Very skillful. All
at
right.
it. Yeah, talented skill, actually. That's a very interesting question.
You mean the difference between talent and skill? I
Hmm.
mean, what's there to separate?
Well,
These are two
that's
different
the
things.
whole discussion. Yeah, but that's the whole narrative today, you know? Discover your talent, work on it, and you will become good at it. But what they're really talking about, it's something you can do more or less good and you develop the skill.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, yeah.
framing it as talent, I think it's like, they like with everything today, we are turning into snowflakes. We need to have something, everybody has a talent. But just relax, not everybody has a talent, and that's okay.
But
It's this
talent.
body positive, mind positive, whatever positive. Just be positive. You're great. You're super good. Wake up every morning. Look and Jesus. Okay. Sorry, I'm already.
You're one more question, in the same round. Is there something opposite to talent? So some sort of a jinx
Mediocrity.
or mediocrity, so that whatever you touch, you spoil it.
That's a
So
talent.
that's from
Spoil
certain point
everything
of
you
view,
touch.
from
Yes.
certain point of view. No, but
Yeah.
let's say that let's stick to writing, and let's say that there is someone who simply cannot write or is a really bad writer,
Hmm.
no matter the amount of training and so on. Is that even possible, or do you think everybody can train themselves up to a certain
Well,
level?
from what I already know about it, looking back at my almost 1 year,
Hmm.
writing, I think it's like with any talent. There is something that you must have. I don't know what it is. I can't describe it. And there is
Hmm.
skill. The skill you can learn.
Craft, you mean?
Okay, craft is a better word. Yeah,
Hmm.
craft.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because there are many, many today schools that can teach you, the art of storytelling.
Hmm.
It's like with language, you can teach person a language, grammar and vocab, but if you have nothing to say,
Hmm.
it's not gonna be useful.
Hmm.
I mean, you can talk about what you did yesterday, the day before, but it doesn't make you a great conversationalist. The same
Hmm.
with
Hmm.
writing. You need
Yeah.
to have something to say. You need to have lived it, internalized it, and now you have something to say. And then there is craft. So if you have the something to say, but you don't have, like I think I do, but I don't have the craft, nothing's
Hmm.
gonna come out of it. If you have the
Hmm.
craft, but not this, whatever it is, then you're just gonna be a
Call it
mediocre
content or.
writer.
Hmm. Even though the writing itself, the form, may be quite edible, right?
Yeah.
Hmm. There's something to say. Uh, is that talent or?
Hmm. I don't know. Did Hemingway go to, did he take a writing course?
It's a good question, No, no. No, but there are definitely people who didn't do it, people who of course were extremely successful as writers, right?
Yeah, so maybe that's talent. It's these two together. Because once we had this literary analysis of a, short novel by, I think, don't remember who, probably.
Kurt Vonnegut.
No, no, no. Did he have
All right.
short stories? The one who Catcher in the Rye, Salinger. And
Mm-hmm.
once we've done, I came up to this to the writer who was giving this talk, and I asked, "Well, just tell me one thing. Did Salinger? Do you think he sat down and wrote it exactly the way, like, oh, here I need to do this and that because I need to do this and that. He said, no, he just sat down and just wrote away. But now we're talentless, mediocre, or whatever you would like to call it. People sit and analyze, you know?
Yeah,
So this
yeah,
is craft, this is
yeah.
talent, I guess.
Oh, there should be a nice meme about it, when, the craft and meets the talent, All right, fine. Masha, thanks. Thanks a lot about that. So I guess we've got it pretty much covered, talent and predispositions. Thanks for introducing
Covered, but
genius
not
as
covered.
covered, but maybe not answered.
Not
But it's
answered,
very
as
hard. It's
always.
very hard to, to cut these concepts. They overlap to a large extent, of course. I'm just curious because, when we switch to the corpo speak, sorry, I have a feeling my washing machine is singing, but it's not.
Singing, that's a
Yeah,
quite talented washing machine.
yes, it's singing when it's finished. All right, but
It's singing, "You're simply the best." Do,
I wish
do,
there was
do.
I wish there was an option, to upload some MP3s, or something. But there's a default melody, that it's playing. All right.
What about
So
corporate speaking?
yeah. The language of corporations, they speak about talent retention
Acquisition.
or acquisition. Yeah, exactly. And that usually means talent in this particular context means probably, I assume, some kind of potential, some kind of prospect, right? Because it usually refers to, unless I'm wrong, because it may not always be about young people. If they want to keep the talent in
I
their
don't think they
company,
mean
like
talent
Google
here
or
as potential. I need to see something in you, not only potential to hire
no,
you
all right, all right, all
and
right, all
then
right, all right. You're
retain,
right.
go into all this trouble.
You're right. So when
Retaining.
Google speak about talent retention, then they don't want them to go to Facebook or go to whatever, OpenAI, right?
But
All
tell me,
right. But
how
that
did
means
this question come about?
I don't know, honestly. I don't know. I think I can't trace, the origins of that question. But I think it's a good one, because it's not so clear cut, especially the
So it has
concept of
nothing to do with
talent.
my, ranting about modern softening of reality for you.
No, not really.
It pisses me off, honestly.
All right. All right, great.
Everybody's talented. You just need to discover your talent. Be yourself.
It's been a
Sorry.
long time since I heard that,
Mm.
but I'm just not listening to any coaches, or any, that kind of
You're
stuff, I
done.
don't know.
Yeah.
Still, yeah, and that's like I was never, I'm not like I'm done because I was never what I never even started, So I'm glad, I stay away from that. Fine. Masha, thanks a lot for this conversation. It was great. I feel, if not smarter, then at least entertained,
Mm.
So
The pleasure is mine.
great. Thanks, everybody, for listening. That
And
was
please, please, please.
leave a comment. Exactly. Help the algorithm, feed the algorithm and
No, it's
help
not.
our show.
I'm not actually asking for comments for this, for the sake of, promotion. After how many years I even lost count, it would be really nice to know if
We are
somebody's.
going to celebrate this December, Masha. It will be at the end of our third year, I guess.
Oh,
So we will enter the fourth year
we are as
of,
old as this war, almost.
yes,
A
yes,
little bit older.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
All right. The conversation keeps going, of course. Leave your comments, of course, about talent, about predispositions, about what you think, and about this show as well, about us, about Masha especially.
no.
And I guess Masha, it's over to you,
But we want to also invite people, if you want to be here
Sure.
on this show, because we kind of, suffer alone. So if you
Yeah,
want
it's
to
not
be the
like
guest on the
yeah, it's not like we are actively searching for the guests, of course, but if anyone is willing to join us here and explore and is ready to explore some concepts, then go ahead. You can go to tolpodcast.com and you will find the necessary links how to get in touch with us.
and
All
this
right.
was once I wanted to do it without the clue and no. So thanks everybody for listening. This was another episode of the Thinking Out Loud podcast. Stay tuned for the next one. Bye.
Bye-bye.